What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have got a Chicago Bulls and Philadelphia 76ers game reaction. I did not end up recording the video yesterday, which I apologize for, but we get to talk about it today. The last game of our season, basically, as we look forward to the play-in tournament in a day's time. This was, in my opinion, a very solid way to end the season. We end the season, I'm pretty sure, with the exact same record as we finished with last season. I'll kind of talk about that in a different video, but I just want to talk about the way the Bulls approached this game. Was it a good thing? Was it a bad thing? And ultimately just discuss, I guess, what's to come, and that is the Miami Heat, and that is in the play-in tournament. But before we get any further, if you liked the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls, their game today, and your player of the game as we win this one 122 to 102. I would truly say this is a standard performance. Philly didn't have really anything to play for, and they probably would have benefited off of a loss. The Bulls, look, if there's anything that they kind of could have had in this game, it could have been, I guess, a game where they built up confidence, maybe just finished the season strong, and a win would have been beneficial for us. So we kind of got what we both wanted in the end. A standard game, a standard performance. The Bulls dominate for most of the game, as is expected at this point in time. But with that being said, we definitely did take approaches to this game. First and foremost, if you look at the minutes that these guys played, for the most part, the starters didn't really get massive amount of minutes, even though they did start the game, and the bench is really what we could be talking about here. So, I'll give you an example. Outside of Julian Phillips, who started this game, Matas Buzelis had 14 minutes. Nikola Vucevic had 17 minutes, Kobe White had 19 minutes, and Kevin Huerter had 16 minutes. By the way, he had 18 points in 16 minutes. That's very impressive. But anyway, regardless of that, not a lot of minutes. If you would to kind of see this game, you would have thought the starters were actually the bench players in the game, which, again, is not the worst thing in the world. But our bench players got the bulk of the minutes. So Patrick Williams had 26 minutes. Taylor Horton-Tucker had 29 minutes. Javon Carter had 22 minutes. Dalen Terry had 18 minutes. Jalen Smith had 16 minutes. Collins had 15 minutes. And even Miller had 11 minutes. So, again, the bench, in my opinion, was our starters. It was almost like a reversal of roles. And we still got the job done. And I like what we did here. The starters played, so you can't say we rested guys, which I'm pretty much, I would have liked to see guys rest. I mean, I know we rested Josh Giddey, but Josh Giddey kind of has a legitimate wrist injury at the moment. So I think resting him was the right call and the obvious call, and we did that. I would have rested guys like Vucevic and Kobe White so they could get their strength up and get their energy up for that game against Miami. But we obviously didn't do that. But at least we could sit here and say we didn't rest anybody at the end of the season, and we got our bench players ready for the play-in tournament. So there's two positives to take away from a game like this outside of the victory. It's that players didn't rest and we walked out of it unscathed for the most part. And now bench players are prepared. They've gotten good minutes under their legs. There should be no excuses now. There shouldn't be an excuse after this Miami Heat game. Let's just say we lose against Miami. We shouldn't have the excuse that the bench wasn't prepared or that the bench didn't get minutes or that the bench couldn't contribute or all these things. There's no excuses anymore. So at least we have that to talk about. But yeah, ultimately, there's not too much to say. This was a strong game for the Bulls. A very, very, very good victory against a Philly team that didn't have much to play for. And in the end, that's how it should have been. That was the expected result. That was the expected outcome, and we got what we wanted. So let's talk about the positives in terms of the individual stats. Well, look, the starters didn't play that well, to be honest. Kobe White didn't play well. Nikola Vucevic didn't play amazing, wasn't terrible either. 8 and 8 in 17 minutes isn't bad. Buzelis had 7 points, not bad. Julian Phillips had 9 points, not bad. Taylor Horton-Tucker had 17 points and 6 assists in this game. Probably the key guy you can look out for in this game in terms of production. He was kind of the one that was doing the bulk of the scoring, but bulk of the playmaking. I think he is our leading scorer today, actually. No, Kevin Huerter had 18 points. Let's talk about that. I mean, 18 points in 16 minutes. That's like a scorer's dream. Just kind of, hey, You have the ball in your hand, go and score. And that's exactly what he did. He went and he scored. And he scored very, very well. So nice to see with Kevin Huerter. And again, can only build more confidence heading into a playing tournament game. Kevin Huerter could be a big difference in that. If we can find him open in those corners and in the catch and shoots and even off the ball, if he's able to dribble penetrate into the rim and, you know, get layups and do all these things he's been doing in the regular season, I think without a shadow of a doubt, he could be a very big asset to the Chicago Bulls in this game against Miami. So that's important. It's very important to have a confidence-boosting game heading into the play-in tournament. You know, Zach Collins played well, I believe, as well. He had 13 points and 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Sorry, Jalen Smith had a double-double off the bench, 12 points and 10 rebounds. Dalen Terry had 6. Patrick Williams had 15, which is, you know, a very nice return for Patrick Williams. With a lot of minutes, he kind of stepped up to the plate. But yeah, all in all, there's not too much to say. I think the next video we'll be making is basically... We probably should be talking about Josh Giddey. He does have a legitimate wrist injury, and I just kind of want to make a video discussing what that might mean for the Bulls. And there is genuine concern there, which could definitely hurt us heading into this Miami Heat game. I expect him to play, but how serious is this? And will it affect his game long term? I really don't know. With that being said, my player of the game, I'm going to give it to Talen Horton-Tucker, but I give a big shout out to Kevin Huerter, who had a very big game in limited minutes. That is a very good return. So what do you guys think? Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.